Hello everybody and welcome to my channel. I'm Mads and today is a very fun video I feel like I say it's a fun video every week. Is it a fun video? I don't know. I think it's fun. Maybe this is just my personal opinion. Oh well. Today I'm going to be doing the 10 before the end book challenge, and that is 10 books I want to read before the end of 2023, which I realized today is in 3 months. So this means that I have 3 months to read these 10 books. Am I going to do it? At this rate, no. Because I read one book this October and read two in September. So who knows? But this is high hopes. We have high hopes for myself. It is currently snowing outside, so I have my hot drink of choice, my spiced chai. Not gonna lie, it's been a rough week. So me talking about and thinking about the books that I may be reading soon actually does bring me joy. So this is how I am treating myself, is talking about books that I enjoy. I'm not going to include the books that I'm currently reading because I just feel like 10 before the end, it should be new books that I'm not currently reading. That means with these 10 and the two, technically four, I'm reading right now, I will reach the goal that my roommate has set for me. She gave me the goal of 60 books to read for this year. She has high hopes for me. And I gave myself the goal of 47, which I already beat, but I always had a secret goal of 50 all along, which I'm about to beat. So, doing great. Anyways, not counting the books I'm currently reading, the 10 books I want to read before the end of 2023 are as following. They will not be in order, and unfortunately, two of these books couldn't be with us here physically today because one has yet to come out and the other I just don't own. So I need to get it from the library. First up, I have Thin Air by Kelly M. Parker. I just got this book in the mail today. Penguin Teen sent this to me and I came home to this lovely surprise on my porch. It's really not as long as I was expecting it to be. It's like 300 pages. This book is about our main character, Emily, who goes on this plane with this secret, and she is on this plane along with 11 other teens across the US who all go to these prestigious private schools, and they are all competing for this same scholarship. And Emily is hoping to get this scholarship to kind of not only get into her school, like the college that she wants to go to, but to kind of help her and her mom out. While on this plane, a whole bunch of people start dying, and it's soon made clear how competitive everybody is and that not everybody is going to make it off this plane alive. So it is 8 hours, 12 contestants, one flight, not everyone will survive. It says that right here on the cover, and I love that. First of all, I love it when books take place in like a 24-hour period or so, and it's just so intense because a lot of stuff happens in this short amount of time, and it's just kind of crazy. Also, look at this cover. This cover's gorgeous. This book comes out on October 17th, which is going to be the day after I release this video. So if this book sounds good to you, then I think you should go buy it right now or pre-order and get it, because the second I saw the premise of this book, I just knew I had to get my hands on it. Once again, thank you to Penguin Teen for sending me this lovely book, and I can't wait to dive into it. Next up, I have Killer Instinct by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. This is the sequel to the Natural series, following the same group of kids that were introduced in the first one. They follow along this mystery that is kind of introduced in the first one, but gets carried through, I think, and I think a new killer is introduced. So I can't wait to read this. My best friend / roommate Laurel sent me this copy after I had a rough week. I just can't wait to read this one and see more of my little group of naturals develop into the found family I know that they're gonna be. Number 3 is definitely One of Us is Back by Karen N. McManus, because if I don't read this book by the end of fall, something's wrong, because I have always loved reading One of Us is Lying in the fall. In fact, it's a book that for a while. I just reread every year in the fall because of how much I loved it and because it's a mystery and mysteries always fit fall. I need to read it before the end of the year, preferably if not in October, then in November. It is on my October TBR. I need to continue my adventure with the Bayview Four, even though I know it's not going to be about the Bayview Four really. Bronwyn, Cooper, Addie, Nate, Maeve, Phoebe, Knox, Lewis, and Chris. Everyone's a target. And now that someone unexpected has returned to Bayview, it might just start getting deadly. We know who's not returning to Bayview. I had to. The joke was right there. I've talked about this book a lot in my previous videos, and I know that, but I just genuinely can't wait to read this book. My fourth up is The Atlas Six by Olivia Blake. I'm prioritizing it because this has been not only on my shelf forever, but on my TBR forever, and I've been telling myself for the last like 2 or 3 years I'm gonna read it. And now I'm finally gonna read it. So this one follows these 6 characters undergoing this competition to determine who is going to be the protectors of Alexandria. It has dark academia, mystery, action, and magic, and really, what's better than that? It just looks so gorgeous, and I can't wait to see what I think about Olivia Blake's writing because I know she's like a really big author right now, and I just really love reading popular books to see my opinion on them. Okay, now my fifth book is going to be an exciting one, especially to all the Chloe Gong enthusiasts out there, and that is going to be Last Violent Call. If you watched my last video, you'll know that I just got this, and I held that weirdly. Hold on. I can't wait. Once again, I'm going to count both of these as one read because they're both about 100 pages long, and they're kind of in the same little box set book thing. I don't know, I feel like they're meant to be counted as one. That's what I'm doing. I've realized that I really don't know the plot to these two. Let's figure out what these two are about. In a foul thing, Romeo and Juliet have established themselves as the heads of an underground weapons ring in Zozwang. I'm really sorry if I butcher it. Making a living the way they do best while remaining anonymous in their peaceful, quiet life. But when they hear about several Russian girls turning up dead in nearby towns, they decide to investigate and ultimately discover that this mystery is much closer to home than they ever imagined. And then we have, in this foul murder, Benedict and Marshall have been summoned by Roma to find the elusive scientist Lawrence and bring him to Zozwang. Time is of the essence aboard the weekend Trans-Siberian Express. When someone is murdered on board, Benedict and Marshall convince the officer in charge not to stop the train so that they aren't thrown off schedule. Instead, they pretend that they're investigators, and they promise they can solve the murder, but as they dig deeper, they realize the murder might have surprising ties to their own mission. Stop, I love that. That honestly just seems really on point for both these couples, like Roma and Juliet running something underground anonymously, and Benedict and Marshall somehow getting tied up in this murder. I think you're supposed to read A Foul Thing first and This Foul Murder second. So that is going to be the order in which I read these. It makes sense to read them in that order, just based off of the little premise. My number 6 book of 10 Before the End is If We Were Villains by M.L. Rio. This book is about things.
She's like, I want to read these 10 books. I know nothing about any of them.
Hey, I did really good so far.
You knew about Killer Instinct. That was like the only one.
And The Atlas Six, and One of Us is Back.
Yeah.
I know what I'm talking about, I swear. I don't. I never know what I'm talking about. Enter the players. There were 7 of us, 7 bright young things with wide, precious futures ahead of us. Until that year, we saw no further than the books in front of our faces. On the day Oliver Marks is released from jail, the man who put him there is waiting at the door. Detective Colborne wants to know the truth, and after 10 years, Oliver's finally ready to tell it. A decade ago, Oliver is one of 7 young Shakespearean actors at Delattre Classical Conservatory, a place of keen ambition and fierce competition. In this secluded world of firelight and leather-bound books, Oliver and his friends play the same roles on stage and off: hero, villain, tyrant, temptress, ingenue, and extra. But in their 4th and final year, good-natured rivalries turn ugly, and on opening night, real violence invades the students' world of make-believe. In the morning, the 4th years find themselves facing their very own tragedy and their greatest acting challenge yet, convincing the police and each other and themselves that they are innocent. This is so dark academia. This is so fall. fire and leather-bound books and murder and fancy schools. It's so dark academia. It reminds me a lot of Vicious. You have this old rivalry in college and somebody ends up dead, and now 10 years later, the person who did the killing is getting out of prison and has to like deal with all that, and you're kind of figuring out what happened as you go along in the book, and it's so giving Vicious, just without the powers, and I need to read it. My plan is to get to it in November and annotate it because I am currently annotating Little Women in October. I do need to give myself a little bit of a break between annotating books. I've been planning on annotating this for a while, and so now I finally get to read it and annotate it. So it's super exciting and I can't wait. Let's see, number 7 is The Serpent and the Wings of Night by Carissa Broadbent. This is one I got a while ago from a giveaway, and I know I'm really bad at reading the books I win in giveaways right away, and I don't know why. I genuinely cannot wait to read this gorgeous book. I think this one is going to be a December read because I feel like high fantasy kind of vibes in winter, and I can't explain it, but to me it just makes sense. I don't know much about this one other than the fact that it takes place in a world of vampires, and there's this tournament and there's this one human among them who's kind of the adopted daughter of the leader of this group of vampires. I know that it's kind of like, it's been compared to Fourth Wing a lot. Like, this blew up when Fourth Wing did. Human or vampire, the rules of survival are the same. Never trust, never yield, and always, always guard your heart. The adopted human daughter of the Nightborn vampire king, Aurea, carved her place in a world designed to kill her. Her only chance to becoming something more than prey is entering the Kajari, a legendary tournament held by the goddess of death herself. But winning won't be easy against the most vicious warriors from all 3 vampire houses. To survive, Aurea is forced to make an alliance with a mysterious rival. Everything about Rain? I think it's Rain. Everything about Rain is dangerous. He's a ruthless vampire, an efficient killer, an enemy to her father's crown, and her greatest competition. Yet what terrifies Aurea the most is that she finds herself oddly drawn to him. But there's no room for compassion in the Kajari. War for the throne of the House of Night brews, shattering everything that Aurea thought she knew about her home. And Rain may understand her more than anyone, but their booming attraction could be her downfall in a kingdom where nothing is more deadly than love. So kind of a forbidden romance and some enemies to lovers. I don't know how drawn out the enemies is going to be a part of the enemies to lovers. It may just be more of a forbidden romance, kind of like a Romeo and Juliet thing. But I don't think I've ever really read a book where vampires are the main aspect of it. Like, I know I've read the Mortal Instruments series and vampires are a big aspect of it, but this one, like, is about vampires. I don't think I read many vampire books, so I am excited for that. I know that this one also has the sequel out as well, so maybe I'll fall in love with it enough to buy the sequel. I really hope I like Carissa Broadbent's writing. I do have another book by her that I'm hoping to get to next year, so I can't wait to see what I think about it. Once again, another really hyped up, really well-known book that I just really want to read. So I'll get back to you on this. Number 8. I've had this for a while now. I ordered it last year when it came out, and that is Fear the Flame by Olivia Rose Darling. This has been really blowing up a lot recently, and that's not why I want to read it. Yes, I have been seeing a lot of really good things about it, but I followed Olivia on Twitter a year and a half ago, I think. So when her book came out, I was very quick to buy it. Unfortunately, it has been a very chaotic year, and I haven't really been able to read it yet, but I really do want to get to it this December, especially after I realized how much I love romantasy. And I see her post about it, and I'm just like, I need say less. So it is kind of a thicker one, but I am really looking forward to it and just seeing how much I like it. This is my moment of bragging. I got this before it was popular. I didn't read it before it was popular, but it has been on my shelf for a very long time. So, go me. My final 2 books are the ones that I have yet to have in my grasp. My 9th book that I want to read before the end of the year is Heir of Fire by Sarah J. Maas. It is the 3rd book in the Throne of Glass series. I started the Throne of Glass series last year. I want to say at the beginning of 2023-ish. Yeah, because I think I made a book journal page for him. I do think I've read them in 2023. If not, then like late 2022. I know I read them my freshman year of college, but I really do want to continue this series. Elsa has been on me to read this lately, and I don't take much to give in. So I am going to read Air of Fire. I heard it's very different from the first two books because you're in a different setting. You kind of have this whole other aspect of Fae getting more involved, and we have a whole bunch of prominent characters being introduced. So I can't wait to read this book, see what I think, and to finally just see these characters that a whole bunch of people rave about. I want to understand the references. So I'm finally gonna read Air of Fire. Will I get to it? I really don't know. The final book that I want to read, I saved the best for last. It is Iron Flame by Rebecca Yarros. Guys, it's coming out in a month. Like a month from now, I can have it in my hands. I pre-ordered it so long ago. I'm really hoping I get the sprayed edges. I'm just so excited. I've been seeing a lot of Fourth Wing and Iron Flame content a lot recently because we are getting closer to the day. It really makes me want to reread Fourth Wing, but like I have other books I need to read. So maybe I won't reread Fourth Wing, and then like maybe this next summer I'll be like kind of in a mood for a reread and then read both of them back to back. So maybe that's what I'll do. I can't wait to read Iron Flame. And the special edition for Fourth Wing just came out. Guys, it's so gorgeous and it matches Iron Flame so well. It all just looks gorgeous and I can't wait to see Xaden and Violet again and see their relationship after like the last book. And after that cliffhanger, I've been waiting for this book for so long, it feels like, and I'm finally gonna get it to it before the end of this year. The second I get it, I'm gonna be reading it. And those are the 10 books I want to read before the end of the year. Thank you so much to everybody who is watching. Please let me know the 10 books that you want to read before the end of the year. Once again, please like, comment, and subscribe below, and I will see you all next time. Bye!